Yup, you in the mirrors. So pay attention. The biggest op is you. So this mirror talk is gonna be about self. The fact that you only gonna get as far as you let yourself get. If you ever heard the expression, what you believe is what you receive, that's what I'm getting at with what I'm finna say. So things like excuses, they always gonna sound good to the person that's telling them. The one that needed to make sense, the one that needed to excuse them from what it is that they need to do. This spread to every topic that you can think of, whether it be working out, making more money, being happier in your life, having more peace. It all come back to the same thing. How much discipline do you have for it? How bad do you really want it, or do you just think you want it and that's what got you saying that you want it? You know, that's the only difference that really separate somebody who just talking from somebody who really mean what they saying. It even come down to simple things like confidence, right? Like, if you don't believe that you him or her, can't nobody believe that shit for you. If you don't genuinely believe that, can't nobody believe that for you. Understand that, like really retain that part. Nobody can make the progress happen for you. You can ride people's coattail. You can follow a copy of somebody else's way of how they got where they going. But even with that, you have to actually do the work to even do that. Like everything, every path that you take, it's gonna take some type of work. It's gonna take something from you. And it's like, you can either pick where you gonna go, or life is gonna pick a route for you. The people around you are gonna pick a route for you if they feel like, like you don't have a destination already in mind. But we ain't gonna branch into something else. We're gonna keep this about one thing at a time, which is self. So if you let yourself slack off on what it is that you need to do, you the only person that you fucking over by that. But it's a clause to that, right? You can have people depending on you, and then you low-key fucking them over too by you not doing what it is that you're supposed to do. But regardless, it all come back to self. Like how they love to say, how everybody say, we all got the same 24 hours. So it's just about what you're doing with it, right? And when you realize all of this really just come down to choices. I heard an older person tell me one time, a man's money is just a measurement of his choices. So whatever choices that you're making, whatever you're doing with your time, that's really what you're signing up for to have. So you either building something or maintaining something, or you losing something, but it's gonna be one of them three. And if you want to dumb it down even more, I'd make it even more simple for you, right? So boom, if you're sitting there really still not understanding what I'm saying, I'm finna make it even more cut for you. You alive, right? You breathing, right? You got a heartbeat, right? You gotta eat, right? You gotta live, and being alive costs money, right? Okay, so what that means is either way that you try to cut it, you gotta live somewhere, right? So whether that be you living in fucked up conditions, struggling, or living in a good situation and you doing well, it all come back to you. Now, of course, there's situations, and everybody got their situations. I'm not saying this in the sense that everything is just happens like that. But if you got the discipline and the understanding that everything is about choices and what you picking to do with your time, you're gonna be on to something. So let's flip it, right? So on the other side of this, if you doing a whole bunch of stuff that's causing you to not get where you going, you are the reason why you're not getting where you're going. It's that simple. It's that simple. If you ever really sat down, like not listening to no music, not distracting yourself with no music, not on the phone with nobody, just really sit down and be quiet and just really let it sink in, you'll realize all of this really just come down to your choices and your discipline. What I mean, so let's say, for example, somebody trying to lose weight, right? Let's say they trying to lose weight. If you're not disciplined about your weight loss plan, you want to lose weight. You might really want it, but are you going to? That's why I say you want to lose weight. You don't want it enough to where you're going to really get up and do something about it. But you want it enough where, like, when you see somebody on TV working out, you be like, damn, that's what I should be doing. That's what I mean. My pops used to always tell me, when you get tired of running into that wall, you'll find a way around it, or you'll stop running into that bitch and find something else. Find another route, because you're going to finally realize that ain't the way. In other words, when you get tired of what you're going through, you're going to do something about it. You're going to make sure that you don't go through it no more because you're tired of it. So you are going to refuse to keep going through it. This applies to everything, like I said. So back to the working out thing. If you talking about how you want to lose weight or you want to have a certain shape or whatever, but you know good and well you don't be working out. You know good and well that you be eating, but you ain't working out. Some people don't know if you just stop eating, that way to get rid of itself. But it's a certain way you go about that. You can't just starve yourself. But that, again, that's another conversation for another time. So with working out or whatever it is that you desire, you have to literally want it more than you want to be comfortable where you at right now. And that may sound like, duh, well, of course, nah, like really think about it. Because if you not where you want to be right now, and you're not moving towards where you want to be right now, then really take this in and really understand what I'm saying, because this the missing piece that you probably missing. It could be a lot of missing pieces, but this at least gonna get you in the right direction, you know? You gotta get in the mirror, like really get in the mirror and look at yourself. Pay attention to what you're doing with your time, what you're doing with yourself. And then really ask yourself, like, are the things I be doing with my 24 hours, 7 days a week, is this gonna lead me to what it is that I want? If the answer is no, then you know how you fucking up right there. This is what I mean when I say it's not complicated. But we make it complicated. You can make it complicated by lying to yourself, making excuses to yourself. Because see, once you start looking in that mirror and start facing the fact that you the reason for a lot of the shit that's going on, I ain't saying everything your fault. When you realize that you're the reason, it get real hard for you to bullshit yourself. Because when you in that mirror, and let's say, for example, again with the working out, you know you've been saying for the longest that you want to be at this weight class, or you want to be looking like this or built like that, but you ain't doing nothing to get there. When you looking in that mirror, you gonna see, damn, I'm bullshitting. I ain't even trying for real. Like I'm talking that talk like I want it, but I ain't really going after it for real. I'm just talking. It get hard for you to be confused at that point. Cause at that point now, it's no longer, damn, why ain't I winning? You know why you ain't winning. You know exactly why you ain't winning. You feel me? It's one thing when you doing the work and you're not winning. Then it's like, okay, you kind of got a right to be frustrated because you know you putting your heart in that shit and it just ain't took off yet. But if you know you ain't doing the work, bro, it's like, you ain't even got the right to be mad. You feel me? You ain't even got the right to be upset. Like, shut up, you know? Because it come back to what I said. You have to want this shit more than you want to be comfortable wherever you at right now. So let's say, again, with the working out, because I feel like this the most relatable example. I could come up with a lot of examples, but everybody can relate to working out because they know how I feel, and you know what I mean. So back to the working out example, boom. If you know you're not putting in the work, you don't have the right to be upset, but you're going to be upset because you're looking at something in the mirror that you don't want to see. But it's like you're the one who's in control of that shit. Now, if you got like health situations and things like that that cause you, that's a different field. That's somebody, I ain't talking about them. But I'm talking about the one that ain't nothing wrong with you, bro. But your discipline and your laziness and your saying all of this and doing all of this right here, but you ain't doing nothing. You your own poison, gang. Or miss. Whoever this may concern. But yeah, the biggest op is you. If you let it be that. Because you the one in control of how you respond to everything. We ain't gonna run this no longer. You get the point. Stay in the mirrors.